course, third, and I saved the best for last. Now, it's a real toss-up between Transformers and G.I. Joe, but G.I. Joe usually seems to win for the comics. So, best for last, G.I. Joe, 3 issues. The first one, number 284 of the regular ongoing series. If you remember the last issue, it was just the Joes reporting to some senators or whatever the hell it was about the events when they fought, or when they freed Snake Eyes when he got captured there, and their whole assault on Springfield or whatever it was to free Snake Eyes. So in this one, or was that the last one? Well, this one has to do with Al Cabra, who was kind of the latest threat from Cobra to the Joes, and he was able to escape them in that last story. Yeah, there must have been an issue between the whole Snake Eyes wrap up and this one, because unless it was in... No, there are no other issues going on. So yeah, sorry, I missed one there. But yeah, Al Cabra, that turbaned kind of guy with his face all wrapped up, that caused the Joes such trouble in the last issue. They're kind of on his trail in this one after he escaped. And so they're Roadblock, Lady J, Chuckles, Sherlock, and a couple others are searching around. They're in China somewhere, I think, where this all happened. They're tracing Al Cabra's kind of movements. First at the warehouse where the fight went down. They got some DNA evidence, a pizza box and stuff like that. But they realized just in the nick of time that the place has been rigged to explode, so they all kind of escape at the last second with just a little bit of the evidence left. But a little bit of evidence leads them kind of on this trail where they go to the pizza parlor where he ordered the pizza, get some more information there. Then they end up at a hangar at the airport, I believe it is, which is also rigged to blow, and they barely escape that. In the end, they end up sending some teams to the airport to get on a plane where they think Al Cabra is going to be on, posing as stewardesses and stuff like that. Sorry, flight attendants. And then the other team goes to the docks where they think he might be on a boat or may have put some... I think some technology or something that he's stolen or whatever on the boat. But he keeps being able to give the Joes the slip at every turn. They think they've got him. Oh, it's somebody that he's paid off, some civilian stranger that he paid off to sit in this seat and pretend he was Al Cabra, sort of thing, right? So he keeps giving them the slip. And in the end, we see Al Cabra showing up... where was he? His visit to Amara Wapur. So I'm not sure where that is, but he gets to some destination, having eluded the Joes the entire time, and I'm sure wherever this place is and what he's doing there, he's going to be up to no good again, and you know, the chase will resume and continue. So next up, issue 5 of Snake Eyes Dead Game. I'm not sure if this is the last one or not, but it kind of wraps up. It's Snake Eyes kind of relating to Scarlet on a rooftop, how he was questioned about his events in Greenland, where he confronted this immortal being named Kigu. I forget, but you know the story. We've gone through the first 4 issues, but Kigumi or whatever, the dead man or whatever. So Snake Eyes is taking him on, wielding Thor's hammer Mjolnir, which gives him super crazy powers, and so he's taking this guy on. In the meantime, Destro and Baroness are there because they want the power from themselves. This, all with the weapons, the fact that this guy's immortal, they want to gain as much from this as possible. So Snake Eyes is kind of fighting a war on 2 fronts here, and in the end, he ditches the hammer. Or the hammer breaks when he confronts Kigumi or whatever his name is, and after he loses the hammer, he loses all of his powers, but he digs deep and eventually, in the end, steals the dead sword from this guy and ends up killing him with it, which ends the whole struggle against this fellow, and I'm assuming ends this series, but I'm just trying to see if it says end here anywhere. In the end, Scarlet asks him if he's ready to go on another mission after this, and he's like, hell yeah, and that's how it ends. So it seems like it's over, but you know, you don't get that definite end thing at the end like they usually do. So I don't know if it'll still be going on. We'll find out either early September or early October, depending on when I'm able to get to the store. So Last Joe, another yearbook, number 2. And this one's very similar to the last one. It features a couple segments of like old school comics from the 80s. The first one features the October Guard, and the second one features the whole the Fred Crimson Guardsman storyline. There's also another thing on the Joes, how the television series was such a phenomenal success and took off like crazy. And I agree, it was amazing. A little bit of information, some comics, the USS Flag toy, the aircraft carrier, from when I was a kid. I wanted that so bad. Never got it. It was like, you could, as a kid, you could probably fit inside the damn thing. It's that big, right? So, very cool. And then there was also cover art processes, like how they draw it and flesh it out and then eventually color it and stuff like that. So just a whole bunch of random stuff, old and new, and different types of content and stuff like that. So I don't know why they issued 2 annuals this year, but or yearbooks this year, but I'm not complaining. There is just one more thing to go. I looked at some back issues since I was allowed back in the store recently with the COVID restrictions being lifted, and I found this issue 2 of some sort of Voltron Defender of the Universe comic. And I don't have the first one, so I don't know what happened, but basically it says like 8 weeks after the Garrison raid on the planet Eris, that's where everything picks up. So the Galaxy Garrison is like the Earth-based force that rules kind of the galaxy and polices everything. So they've obviously raided planet Eris, and the Voltron team is upset about it, and they're just finally doing something about it. So they all come up with some costumes. Keith, Pidge, Hunk, Lance, and Princess Allura are all ready to go. Sven is not. He says he's going to stay behind and do whatever. But they all take off covertly to head to Earth, Toronto, actually, which is where the headquarters are based, which I always thought was cool. And they covertly infiltrate the Galaxy Garrison headquarters, and under the cover of dark, sneak through its tunnels and hallways and stuff like that, and eventually stumble upon their 5 lions, which obviously I'm assuming the Galaxy Garrison raid that was mentioned at the start of the comic must have been something to detain the lions and stop Voltron from being a thing on planet Eris. But in the meantime, when they're in the hangar looking at all the lions, they look around and they say, well, what are all those vehicles? And it's actually the vehicles from the vehicle Voltron, the other Voltron. And they're like, what the hell is all that? And then all of a sudden, the pilots from the vehicle Voltron force burst through the door and they're like, hey! So there's going to be some sort of showdown or whatever between the 2 Voltron teams. And there's a lot more in the vehicle Voltron team, that's for sure. They're definitely outnumbered the old Lion Force. So pretty cool, though. It's a different spin on it. Like, it's almost like the Lion Force guys are fugitives, right? And then they're going to run into the vehicle Voltron Force and stuff like that. So pretty cool. But like I said, I don't have the first issue. They didn't have any other ones. You just got to pick up these issues as you can and hopefully eventually piece the other ones into it. And if not, well, who cares? You still have one of the comics, and it's fun to read, and the artwork's amazing, and I could stare at comics all day long. So that is all for this month, but I will be back in a month or less with whatever September brings. And until then.